no place like home. And indeed, that could be the case tonight for the Jayhawks of Kansas. With 14 seconds to go, Oklahoma must hurry, and they have not been too proficient from three-point land this half. They go for the two right away on a driving layup by Grace, and quickly Tubbs goes to the timeout with 7 seconds.
That's his last timeout, Brent. 7 seconds to go. But with that timeout, of course, he stops the clock. Ricky Grace goes the full length here, and he's very good at this. He doesn't mind going in the trees. Good hesitation dribble. Then he makes the spin, goes under Danny Manning. Surprised Danny came out that high because he played kind of in Grace's hands. But that's the last timeout Billy Tubbs had.
The evening began with the Jayhawks coming onto the floor, greeted by this capacity crowd here in the Kemper Arena, with Archie Marshall, their spiritual leader, in uniform. He was in uniform when they played their last home game. He, of course, is the young man who in the tournament 2 years ago exploded a knee against Duke down in the first half. You can see the knee brace there on the left knee. That was the other knee, which he blew out against St. John's back in December in the Holiday Festival. Ever since then, Danny Manning has worn the number 23 on his wristband.
Brent, if you're Billy Tubbs now with 7 seconds to go and no timeout, what you have to do is go for the steal on the inbounds pass and then immediately foul, because you've got to get the ball down the length of the floor. You cannot afford to let Kansas bring the ball back up over half court. Now, if you're Larry Brown, one of the things you got to be thinking about, you know they're pushing the ball up court and trying to make the steal. Maybe go long and steal it with the long pass going for the layup.
The ball out of Newton's hands, and I'm sure that Larry Brown reminds them of that as they leave the huddle. With 7 seconds to go now, Danny Manning wants to huddle the Jayhawks here.
One of the great things about Manning is that he's a tremendous receiver of these kind of passes. Even though Grant's on him, sometimes he can throw over ahead. Now look for somebody to break long.
Quickly, he calls a timeout as everyone was sealed up. Didn't want a violation and give Oklahoma an opportunity. Larry Brown still with a timeout to go here in 7 seconds and leading 81-79. We go back to the start of this game, and it was a surprise tactic by Brown and the Jayhawks. They came out and ran right at the Oklahoma pressure defense. They took the Sooners in their own game, and we were tied at halftime 50 all. The most points ever scored in the half of an NCAA championship game.
We know, Brent, the University of Kansas just has so much tradition. More people with Kansas heritage in the Hall of Fame with 13. You've got Larry Brown, the 4th Kansas coach to take a team to the Final Four, just steeped with great basketball tradition.
So many similarities in this evening here in Kansas City to that one in Lexington a few years ago. Villanova in '85 upsetting Georgetown. Look at the record coming in. Kansas with one more loss. Field goal percentage, free throw percentage. And then tonight, Kansas has done what Villanova and Raleigh Massimino did that night. They shot well from the field. They knocked down when they were open. They hit their field goals. They've hit 64% in this game here tonight against the talented Sooners of Oklahoma. 81-79, Kansas leading by 2.
And they had that shooting percentage up in the high 70s through most of the first half. Billy Tubbs realizing he has no more timeouts, so anything he's going to say to this club, he's got to say in this huddle. Looking for that breath.
They get it to Manning's hands. Danny Manning now will come up to the free throw line with 5 seconds remaining.
Just 2 off the clock. Good strategy by Billy Tubbs. All he can hope for now is that Manning does not convert it, 2 of them, because that would be the ball game for the simple reason if Oklahoma even took it down and scored, Brent, Kansas would not have to take the ball inbounds because it's under 5 seconds and Tubbs has no more timeout. This whole game rides on these free throws.
It is only appropriate that for the Kansas Jayhawks, it comes down to Danny Manning at the free throw line. His line on the night. He's 3 of 5 from the free throw line. Now for an NCAA championship, and no one will be prouder than his papa.
Well, Brett, if he makes this free throw, this game is over, because even if Oklahoma scores, Kansas doesn't have to take it out of bounds.
Now Danny Manning shooting to give the Kansas Jayhawks their second national championship. Kansas has won it.
It's mathematically impossible now, as long as Kansas does not foul, for Oklahoma to win the game. Larry Brown can't believe it.
The Kansas Jayhawks have beaten all odds. They have lost more games than any champion in the history of the NCAA. And bedlam reigns here in Kansas City as the Jayhawks beat the Sooners 83-79. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why they play these games. If we decided them on paper, there'd be no use showing up in the arena and enjoying emotions such as Larry Brown did, or the heartbreak felt by Billy Tubbs and the Sooners of Oklahoma, who came so close to winning their first ever national championship. They were matched against simply a marvelous talent, Danny Manning. There have been doubters throughout the last 2 years of his career. Let there be no more doubters. Danny Manning has turned in one of the greatest years ever in the history of college basketball. We're going to come back. We'll hear from Danny Manning and the architect, Larry Brown, when we continue in a moment.